Hello everyone, this is Space Jelly again. Today we're going to be reviewing the NECA Toys, the Terminator from, I think this is just the first Terminator movie. This is the same outfit he wore, I think. So, we're gonna get into it. Let's look at the packaging first, since I like showing off NECA packaging. If we can just ignore all the lights. Looks pretty cool. And I showed the front part. I will bring up this in a second, because I do wish that they gave us him with longer hair. This figure has pretty short hair. Though I think how his head looks now was more accurate, I still think that his hair should have been a little bit longer. And then here's him doing almost the same pose in the box as I gave him. You can use the box as like a background, I think, if you open it. So, yeah, pretty cool box. I like NECA boxes. They definitely handle their boxes better than other toy companies. So, let's start off with height. He stands at... This is a 7-inch figure. NECA toys are 7-inch scale. Or I shouldn't say 7-inch, they're just 7-inch scale. He's about 6 3/4 inches to the top of his head. Maybe 6 and a little over that for the top of his hair, which would make him about 17 to the top of his head, 17 centimeters, and about 17.5 to the top of his hair. So, he's kind of tall, but he's not that tall. So, I think you actually could use this in your section scale figure line. Arnold Schwarzenegger is supposed to be kind of tall. So, let's go over the accessories first, because NECA also does a pretty good job with accessories. He comes with this head in the packaging. We'll just get rid of it. We'll just get done with this first, because I have something else to show. He comes with these two heads. They both look pretty good, but he does seem to be missing some eyebrows. I don't think he's ever had this Guile from Street Fighter kind of look. But these heads do look pretty good. I like this one. It has blood all over it. The blood is a slightly different finish than the rest of the paint. And I also have, comes with this glove and this one. And on the in the packaging, it comes with these two, and these are the accessory parts. But if you can see here, he has like a bullet wound on his shoulder, so I just gave him this glove to kind of match with it, and left the normal glove on this side because there's no bullet hole. Pretty cool though. He comes with this modified Spaz 12 shotgun without the stock. Kind of hard to see, I know. It's black on black. So he also comes with this modified M16 without a stock, and don't know how that works. I think it's an M16. I kind of did some liberties on this design. I don't know what's going on there. It looks a bit thicker and more square. It has a dual magazine taped together. It's still cool either way though. I just don't know how the gun functions. Guess whatever, it doesn't matter. He comes with this little tiny cop revolver. It's a nice silver paint job. Looks pretty good. The guns they give to their figures always looks pretty good. And let me check if he had anything else. I don't think so. How's it? So relatively modest for a NECA Toys figure, but not too bad. Especially since this figure looks really good. That's one of the things that NECA pretty much always does. They make their figures look good. So But in the meantime, after we looked at the accessories and height, we're gonna look at this guy. This is the Terminator 2 one, I think. It's a different figure, but what I wanted to test this is a different figure, and it's also an older figure. You can tell by the leg joints and stuff. But I did want to test and see if his head will fit on this body, because this is a definitely younger Arnold head. This one's a slightly older one from the 90s. And yeah, it fits on pretty good. And if you don't like this type of head, because the glasses are a little bit crooked, but I think that was part of the design. I don't see how it would be anything else. You could use this one. I like either of them. They both look good. They swap on pretty easily too. So, yeah, we'll go into the aesthetics now. But if you did have that figure and you wanted to use a different Arnold head, you could have. Or you could if you want. He has a nicely painted zipper here. Bullet holes with blood on them, although no bullet holes on him. It's kind of strange. They're through his jacket but not on him. Bullet holes on his back. Those are actually on his shirt. The red paint. Like I showed before, bullet hole on his shoulder. Nothing much on his legs. And like I showed, the head is definitely a younger Arnold. And the glasses are a little bit weird because they're crooked. But I think they just made it look that way because it better matched how he looked in the movie. The hair is a bit longer, but it's kind of weird because the top of the hair is clearly shorter. Sorry about that. Shorter than the back of his hair. Kind of has a mullet going on. I don't remember that very much. It's been a while since I watched these movies, anyways. The glasses are in a nice glossy finish. They look nice. The buttons on the jacket are good. He has a wash on his pants. All looks really nice. The boots are cool. They're asymmetrical. This one has spikes on it. This one doesn't. Pretty good figure. Of course, NECA always pretty much nails the design. The proportioning is pretty good too. He looks big. Arnold was not in his bodybuilding days when he made this movie. He wasn't huge, but he was still pretty big. So I'd give this figure a really good 9 out of 10 for aesthetics. And for the accessories, I'll give it a 8.5 out of 10. I don't know how this gun works. And I don't know, I think I would have liked to see like a few more guns. Probably could have done without the different hands, but all hands are good. Probably would have liked some fist hands if they were going to do that. So, on to the only thing I don't really like about this figure at all, which would be the articulation. Now, he's pretty good aside from one thing. His head is on a neck joint. It's a huge ball peg. Rotates and it looks really natural when he does so because it's also his neck moving. Got some scuffing over there. Careful with that. Head rotates, looks a little bit up, looks down, rotates, looks good all the way around. Shoulders, if you crank on it, they move up to horizontal. They rotate. No bicep swivel. And here's the only part. This is as far as the right elbow moves in. This is not close to 90 degrees. Now, this arm moved in that much too, but this arm specifically, you can kind of unpeg it. Like, you can pull it, then you can bend it in more for a good 90 degree bend. You can't do it with this arm. I tried over and over again, but it just doesn't work. This one, you can pull it out, press it back in. I'm not really complaining too much about this one, but Yeah, this one really gets on my nerves. I don't know why. They couldn't just cut out a little bit more. You can probably cut out a little bit more over here and get better range, but I wouldn't recommend doing that if you don't know how to use your knives. He has ball joints in the wrists. These ones actually do have pretty good range, aside from this figure. Okay, his head is gone. Almost no range over there. These hands are a bit more rubbery and soft, easier to use. Torso looks okay, a nice matte finish on the shirt. Waist swivel. I don't think he has any ab crunch. Legs. They go forward decently. They go back decently. And like I said, this is a newer figure because he's using the ball pegs in his crotch instead of the old, outdated ball hinges that they used to use. It's asymmetrical. Because of that, a lot of times you got that problem. This one does not have that problem where both of the legs move. He has a really good thigh swivel, but it does get kind of gappy if you look at it. Like, he looks pretty seamless without the legs, but you know the legs are just kind of a little bit gappy. But it's not like it's really that big of a deal. He has a thigh swivel. Single jointed knee does not move past 90. That's it. Let's try this one. Yep, around the same, maybe even worse. But the pants look good in the front. That's the thing about NECA toys. They focus on aesthetics instead of articulation. However, when it comes to knees and elbows, that's not really stuff that they need to sacrifice so much aesthetic for. They just have to cut out a little bit more in the shin or up here, and that's it. He has a boot swivel, both sides. And another part that I don't really like, he has very limited ball jointed feet. They don't have nearly any rocker, they don't go up and down, they rotate, and that's it. So he is kind of hard to get into a stance that you want to get him in. He's not hard to stand, but sometimes he'll be leaning back, as you can see. It's kind of hard to get him to lean more straight up and down. So, yeah, not the best for articulation. I'm going to give it like a 5. The points are there, and you can put them in poses, but it's just kind of hard sometimes, and NECA could have fixed this easily with a bit better engineering without even sacrificing any of the aesthetics. So, yeah, it's a really good figure, and I really do like it. This is I would consider this one like the definitive Terminator figure, the definitive figure that you would need for having a Terminator in your collection, especially his one. I think that the Mayfix one is coming out, but that one looks a little bit off. The likenesses here, I think, look a bit more like Arnold. Although aside from the missing eyebrows, I don't know about that. The Mayfix one, though, obviously would have way better articulation. So you have to, like come to a. You have to make a decision. Either you want function or form or whatever you want. Because I don't think the Mayfix one looks better. I think it looks different, but it doesn't look better than this one. This one looks really good for the price point and also for a NECA figure, and for a figure altogether, this is a really good aesthetically pleasing figure. So, that's just my opinions, but, Anyways, thanks for watching. Thanks for liking, commenting, and subscribing. Remember, we will be doing a giveaway on our channel, a free giveaway, for those 2 DC versus Vampires I forgot. DC versus Vampire figures, the Batman and the Joker. So stay tuned for that. Make sure to check out our Patreon, our tipping option. All money will be greatly appreciated, and we'll put it all towards buying new figures, more giveaways, more exclusive Patreon stuff, doing giveaways on there, raffles, everything. and it would be greatly appreciated. So, yeah, anyways, we'll see you next time. Ooh, put that in. Yeah, he looks cool. See ya.